Striving for excellence motivates you. Striving for perfectionism is demoralizing. Harriet Breaker. Trying to be perfect is not the greatest way to live because it can completely change how you see yourself and how you enjoy life. When we try to be perfect, we stop enjoying the little things. Instead of being proud of our effort, we only focus on our mistakes. Perfection can make us feel stressed, anxious, and never good enough. Sometimes we try so hard to be perfect on everything we do, like if we were robots. The truth is, being perfect is not possible. However, what we can make possible is always trying our best on everything we do. As I already said, trying to be perfect can make us stop enjoying life. Little by little, those standards or ideas that we have in our head about being perfect can start consuming us. I know how it feels, and still, I am working on it, on learning that aiming for perfection is not the right path. Research by psychologists Gordon Flett and Paul Hewitt show that perfectionism is linked to higher levels of anxiety and depression. Additionally, recent studies by Thomas Curran and Andrew Hill found out that increasing perfectionism in young people is harming mental health. That's why learning to enjoy the process instead of chasing perfections can make us stronger and more resilient. We should always choose happiness over being perfect. Our joy is always first, and once we start wanting to be a person we aren't, life starts getting complicated. We live in a world where we see perfect lives and perfect appearances on social media, but sometimes, almost always, it is not what it seems. For example, people often post edited photos or only highlight happy moments, which can create an unrealistic expectation and hide real-life struggles. In fact, studies show that people who prioritize happiness report higher levels of life satisfaction than those who chase perfection. Unfortunately, we can't avoid feeling that way. But trust me, it is completely normal, and at one point, you'll get over it. As you listen to me, you can think that I know how to control this feeling. The truth is, I know nothing. Constantly, I feel that I'm not enough, that no matter how much I try, I will always end up falling again. It feels like you're in a maze and can't escape, or in a day that will never end. Like if the feeling of trying to be perfect, but never being it, starts consuming me. I know that I need to be just myself. But sometimes it is hard to admit that you're not the person you want to be. But understanding that we will not always be in the place or position that we would like is just part of the process of life. We are here to make mistakes and learn from them, to fall and get up, but mainly to enjoy life. Research shows that mistakes are not failures at all. They actually strengthen memory, sharpen attention, and encourage flexible thinking, making them one of the brain's most powerful teachers. Everything happens for a reason is a phrase that I really use in my daily life. Hearing this after hard times just motivates me to keep going. When things do not come the way I want, just knowing that it happened because it needed to gives me one reason to keep going. For instance, when people go through a difficult situation, like failing a class or not making a team, it can later help them grow, become more resilient, and succeed in the future. Sometimes we think of everything as negative stuff, but the truth is that as with everything in life, there is both a negative side and a positive side. I know that it is hard to see the bright side when all we can think about is how we may be failing. But little by little, everything will get better and we can get back our essence. But for this, it is important to recognize that we matter and that we are humans. We can't expect ourselves to work as if we were robots. Actually, psychologists have found that self-compassion, acknowledging our humanity and imperfections, significantly reduces stress and increases resilience, helping us recover faster from setbacks. What sense does life have if we don't enjoy it? Sometimes we think as if it is better to have everything planned or figured out, that letting what needs to happen just happen. We are teenagers trying to fit in with expectations, but the truth is that there is no expectation to live your own life. We should always do what our heart says without letting others voice our opinion. We never know when it might end for us, so why not enjoy every second of it? Of course, it will never be easy. There will always be days in which we struggle. However, we decide how to see them, either as an opportunity to grow or as a finish line. Maybe life was never meant to be perfect. Maybe it was just meant to be real. Thank you.